We were a little bit chaotic last year. I don't think it was my finest hour as a host. So we're trying to do it in a slightly different format tonight. We're going to bang through the whole of the Cheltenham Festival in the first half. So it's not going to be any of this going down the line one by one, everyone fancying the favourite at a short price and you've just learned nothing. We're going to try and ask people what they like in each race if they have a strong opinion and get through the races quite quickly. Right, let's get in the panel. First of all, 25-time Cheltenham Festival winning jockey, a Gold Cup hero and a man who has made tea famous, Davy Russell. Davy Russell, ladies and gentlemen. Davy, great to have you here. Don't leave me hanging. That's a good boy. Davy Russell, what a treat it is. He's come just for us tonight. He flew in for us. He's flying out for us. For huge but he is coming. He is here. Right, okay. Next up on the panel is a 4-time winning Cheltenham Festival trainer, which, let's face it, isn't great, but he has he has won 4, which is more than most, but he could win the Cheltenham Gold Cup this time around. It is Ben Pauling. After Ben Pauling, who has the jukebox man primed, is our Nick Luck replacement. When I said to this lady, could you do me a favour and replace Lucky? I could feel there was an immediate glint in her eye. She asked, who's on the panel? And I said, Russell. I said, Pauling, another guest who we're about to... And she said, wow, that sounds good. Then a message came through, who is hosting it? Okay, I said, well, actually, I'm really sorry, but it's me. And she said, well, okay, I need some time to think about this. I will get back to you by the end of the day. The phone, just nothing happened, nothing. And eventually a message came through saying, okay, I'll do it, but it's probably my better judgment says don't. Anyway, she is Miss, I think it's still Miss anyway, something like that. Miss Road to Cheltenham, Lydia Hislop. She is our Supreme Commander. Are you still Miss? I never quite know whether you're Mrs. Hislop or not. I never quite. Are you Miss?
I'm Miss. I am married.
Are you?
I am.
Okay. Okay, but you just didn't want his name. Okay.
Correct.
Sorry if I've already sworn too much. Sean's gone. It's all right. Right, and finally, ladies and gentlemen, a man who lights up this occasion every year. Every time I ask him to come, I think this is the year he's going to say, no, Matt, I think we've done enough of it. And every year he comes back for more. He is the one, the only, the 23-time winning Cheltenham Festival owner. It's his missus, but we give it to him. It's Rich Ricci. Thank you so much for coming again, Rich. Thank you so much. Please, a reminder about the tote offer. They kindly sponsor this event. If a few of you could log in and just use your 10 quid and get your £50 in free bets, that would be a help. So we'll just get cracking on. First of all, before we get straight into the races, though, I just want to, Davy, 25 times Cheltenham Festival winning jockey. Even though you're not there, is it still something that sort of rocks you for most of the year?
Oh yeah, it's a very special few days, and I feel no pressure at Cheltenham. Where I feel the pressure is trying to find the horses to go to Cheltenham. Once you've the horses found, the pressure is off. So you're always trying to look out and trying to find them horses, and that's where I feel that and then once the satisfaction of getting them and then getting them there and being competitive is very pleasing.
Yeah. Ben, for a trainer, is it the be all and end all?
Yeah, probably is. The whole season is structured around trying to get to Cheltenham or Aintree, but realistically, if you've got a horse good enough, you're going to go to Cheltenham, you're going to take your chance. And it's great that the National Hunt game is structured so that the championship races, I always feel, come towards the end of the season. I always think Royal Ascot's great, but like half the horses aren't even known by then. So Cheltenham is the place you want to be, and it certainly is if you live in the Cotswolds.
Lydia, you've been on the road to Cheltenham for just about, as far as I can work out, all your life. It's a long, it's not a Roman road, is it? It's a long and windy road, and you never seem to quite get there.
We go beyond it sometimes as well to Aintree and Punchestown.
Story of your life, Lydia.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you are nearly there now.
We are. I think we all are.
And are you ready?
No, never ever. You could always do that a little bit more, couldn't you?
We'll find out tonight. And Rich, the key thing with you is this. Willie Mullins will tell us that he has failed if he hasn't given you a Cheltenham Festival winner. Is that how you see it, that Willie Mullins will have failed if he doesn't at least have some horse that wins you at least one race next week?
I've never heard Willie Mullins say he failed at anything, even when he loses a race. I don't think he thinks that way. I think look, we've been together a very long time, and I think he knows what's important to me. I think he likes to have winners for us. I don't think he'll fail. He might be disappointed, but if one of his beats one of mine, he certainly won't feel that he's failed. But I think that it's a tremendous occasion. What I don't understand is, and I think Willie gets frustrated too, is we and I know we try to do it as an industry and as a community. We try to celebrate the wins on the way. But, Lydia starts doing her bloody Road to Cheltenham show in October.
November.
Sorry. But,
not that key.
Up the ante, they do it, whenever it is, from August or something. But, I mean, and we don't celebrate enough along the way. But it is absolutely the championships for us, and we all want to have a winner there.
It's unbridled. You need to slug off during the course of the
Yeah, there you go.
And to be fair, racing, you wanted it in October, but the budget of racing TV isn't quite what it once was, is it, for you and Ruby these days. So it's now November. It'll be December next year. You should watch out.
Where's this budget of which you speak?
We're going to move on. Just finally, Rich, if you got to remember Gordon Elliott the other year got to the last race and finally drained.
That was last year. I felt horrible for him. Yeah.
For you. Because you are competitive, you like winning.
Yeah.
That's why you're in it, best of the best. How miserable would you be on that final day if nothing has gone your way up to then?
Well, it's happened. I mean, we've been very fortunate. I think it's only happened once since 2011 or 12. In 2019, it does happen, and you are disappointed. There's a flat feeling when you leave there, because if you invest a lot in the game. I'm sure it feels for everybody, but if you invest a lot in the game, particularly if you've gotten beaten favorites, there's a flatness about it. But look, it's sport as well. Anything can happen, and you just have to be mature about it and move on to Aintree or something else and try to win there.
Or just put lossy mouth in the mares.
It's started already. I got kicked around. I got kicked around in financial markets today, and I thought I'd come here and get kicked around as well.
The one thing I've learned is you never go harder, Rich, until about sort of 30, 40 minutes and a bottle of wine in. Then things start to come out of the body of Rich Ricci that you would never have imagined. Right, let's kick off with...
Oh dear, that's...
Well, obviously Lydia would have imagined it, but anyway.
What's happened already?
We've started fast.
What's happened already?
As I said last year, we
That's what we've got down the end
slightly
there.
lost our way, so I'm going to rein you all back. We start off with the Sky Bet Supreme Novices Hurdle on the first day. For punters, psychologically, I think this is just about the most important race of the meeting. I think it can really decide how you do for the rest of the day, because 98% of the people in this room, if they don't back the winner of the Supreme, are chasing straight away in the Arkle. That is just human nature, and it's the same for most people. So it's important. Right, who on our panel has a strong opinion on the Supreme? What a surprise. What a surprise. Shall we just go through the whole meeting with you, Lydia, first? Okay, you're in.
I like to talk the talk. I was very impressed with the amount of ground that he was able to make up to win at the DRF, chasing down two horses that weren't stopping in Ballyfad and King Rasco Grey. I suppose the question mark about it is about whether his jumping will hold up. Was it the slower ground and the slower pace that enabled it? I prefer to think that he is improving as a jumper. This is going to be a very strongly run race. There's a lot of pace on, and I think it will suit that kind of ride that he dress rehearsed at the DRF.
Okay. Of course, El Caras is a horse, Davy, with loads of speed. One member I mean, maybe more than one member. One member of the El Karas team is stuck in Dubai at the moment, and I think he's very hopeful. This is Dave Rabson. I think he's very hopeful of coming back this weekend, but I genuinely believe it could affect whether Romeo Coolio runs even at Cheltenham at all if he actually didn't make it back from Dubai, because the whole point of running him there is for him to be there to watch him. But speed over stamina, what do you need in a Supreme? Do you need speed, Davy?
You need everything. If you're lucky enough to have a horse, first of all, capable of running in it, and second of all, a horse capable enough to win it, you need to tick a lot of boxes. Now, this isn't, you're not just going to win it one or the other, and it's a slight worry about El Karas. I'm not too worried about his inexperience. I think that has been done in the past, and not overly worried about it. Okay, it's a worry, but...
Well, is it a worry or isn't it?
My worry with him is stamina. His finishing powers in bumpers weren't exactly, brilliant, and we haven't seen him tested to know if they're as good over hurdles. So that's my worry about El Karas. He's a classy horse, and it wouldn't surprise me if he was running in the champion hurdle next year or something to that effect. But it just may be a year too early for him to, and with the preparation he's got for it, it's not ideal. I think Nicky's horse is... I would always be happier riding a horse that will finish a race than a horse travelling into a race and dropping.
So rather have one that can do everything rather than one-dimensional. Like My Daddy Paddy, El Karas, they're going to be strangled somewhere in the mid-division towards the back to come with that late thrust. It makes them a bit one-dimensional. They get one fall in front of them, they're in trouble.
Yeah, your variables are changing very fast when you're riding a horse that way. But I think the likes of them simple horses that you can jump out and make the run in or be very handy, or you're at a huge advantage before you start.
It's not often you're on a panel like this and you have someone who's got a horse who might just win this at a massive price. But Rich, you've got a horse called Loretz Destraval in here, who would be about, I imagine, 33-1 at the moment to win this race.
I think he's 50s or 80s. Yeah.
Right. I mean, he's not a bad horse, is he, though?
No, he's a very good horse. He got a very high rating from Andy Holding on the speed figures, I think of 72, which is right up there with the best of them. I don't know what his trip is. He's entered in all three races, where he worked very, very well today. Wherever he runs, I think he'll run a big, big race. And when I'm sure we'll confirm him for all three races on throughout the week.
Helpfully.
Yeah, helpfully. But I think,
Would this be the least likely for him, do you think?
I think, I don't know if it's the least likely, but I think probably the...
Second least likely?
Yeah, probably. Most likely would probably be the Turners, but I don't know. I really don't know. But he's a fine horse. But I think the horse Mighty Park that JP owns is, I know that they think the world of him in the Mullins camp. The next Faheen, which was said. And I had a chance to buy him. They called me first. But I was at the opera and my phone was turned off. So don't do any of this highbrow nonsense. So I was at the opera, and I didn't get the call, so JP bought it, unfortunately. But anyway.
How long do they hold that?
Oh, these days. I was talking to Davy and Ben about it earlier. It happens so quickly. I mean, these horses are, it's changed. You've got to be ready to go, wall it out, hit the bid or not. I mean, that is what it is these days, because there's lots of people swarming around. But anyway, wherever he runs, it'll be a good thing. But Nicky's horse is very good. If Mighty Park runs here, he could run the Turners. I mean, it's so crazy. But it's a good Supreme, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I think it is a strong Supreme.
Was it Madame Butterfly, La Bohème there? The sort of tragic operas on it. Sounds like a tragic night.
What?
The opera.
Oh, the opera.
La Bohème.
No, it was.
Were you really at the opera?
Matt's just exhausted. His two operas.
I was a Kleinbord, and it was Wagner. So if anybody likes Wagner, it was about 3 hours long, and they don't stop singing.
No,
anyway,
Wagner is suicide stuff.
Ben. Yeah, I think Old Park Stars probably bulletproof as far as they go. Talk the talk. He was impressive to come from where he did. Mighty Park, everyone knows about. El Kairos looks like a hold-up horse with a load of speed, but whether he'll get up the hill, I don't know. My Daddy Paddy, I think he's probably had his chance at a big one and failed already. I think Idaho's Son, he's trained by Harry Fry, he's a very capable trainer. at a bigger price. Sober Glory, the ground won't be good enough. And then we're King Rasco Grey and the rest. So I'd probably Idaho Sun each way.
No, I couldn't have it.
It's
just not good enough, is
Can we talk a bit about Mighty
Not
Park?
good enough, I
Because
said each way.
Okay.
this is all this, isn't it? Kind of like he's had one run. He was at Mighty Park.
Yeah.
He was ushered into the lead, granted 3 lengths at the start. Then he cut out a good pace, but he's never been tested at a hurdle. No one's ever found out whether he can actually jump up sides under pressure at all. And comparisons to Faheen, and suddenly he's second favourite for the Supreme.
Yeah, but on the flip side of that, there's not been much talk about many Willie Mullins novices who are turning up at Cheltenham next week, and this one is being flagged up, isn't it?
Yeah.
For whatever reason. It's very odd for a McManus horse to be flagged up by anyone anywhere,
Yeah,
to be
exactly.
honest. It's like, until Cobden comes along and tells us all what's going on, it's like, it's all a mystery.
He's going to the dark side. That won't happen anymore.
I don't think he will. I think he'll be a good boy. He'll remember his friends. Right, we're going to move on to the Arkle. Having said we're not going to spend hours going over each race, and we've just spent hours on the Supreme. I think Old Park Star's just got everything. Speed, stamina. And I like the fact they didn't really think he was that great to start with. And those kind of horses tend to be quite good ones rather than the flashy ones at home. Arkle. Who's got a strong view on the Arkle?
Oh, God, I'm going to have to put my hand up again.
You're going to do this as a theme, aren't you?
I'm not. I'm going to stop now.
And then your team at Racing did well done, Lydia. You took over there. Okay, who do you fancy?
Yeah, they study everything you do.
Well, they
They
study
model
you.
themselves entirely on you.
Right, who do you fancy?
I think I see that he's gone Sea of Blue favourite today, but I think that Kopek de Board will win.
Okay.
I think he can win off the basis of one previous run over fences. Western Warhorse has done it. Well, Chief has done it. I think we saw from the Supreme last year, he's the only horse in this lineup I think that could win a champion hurdle. I know that Ruby Walsh has made that point. I think it's true. I think Lulamba's a very good horse. I think Romeo Coolio is a very good horse, but I think they're going to excel over distances that are further than this. And I think that they could both get caught out in the early part of the race. That 4 quick fences, the pairs of 2, they could get quite a way behind. Now, you've sworn already this evening, haven't you? So I can say Kopek de Board is a bust bet. He wins or he doesn't win, whereas Lulamba might well pick up the pieces and finish second or win. So it depends on your kind of temperament there. But unfortunately, neither of them are that kind of play in terms of each way prices. So it's Kopek de Board for me. I strongly think that Lulamba will be on the back foot early on and in trouble. And I don't think he'll have the real estate to pick up the ground like he did at Newbury last time.
Okay. Rather oddly, I think the whole audience prefers it when you swear rather than me. It just feels better.
There's a frisson.
Yeah, there's a determination.
I can tell you they are getting jiggy in Close Sutton over Kopek de Board, to steal your phrase about getting jiggy. I think that, look, he's a talented horse. Lulamba that was a funny old run, wasn't it? And I think you're right about the real estate. He might find it hard to try and find that ground.
He might have learned quite a lot.
He might have though as well. What's Romeo Coolio going to do? I need to take your point about where the owner is, but
he could still. I did speak to him about that. He said the Ryanair is not yet out of the equation.
Is he definitely going to Cheltenham? Definitely.
He will 100% go to Cheltenham.
Right. Okay.
It's the only thing that matters to the owners. They could not care about any other race other than winning a race at Cheltenham.
Who cares about any other race? Only winning at Cheltenham.
Well, Ben does because he's won the King George and not much else. So.
I won't even bite. It's fine.
The King George is a good one. If you're going to win one, you win the King George.
Don't just shut up.
does Carghese have a chance?
I think she's going to run really well, but I think she's going to be swamped at the end. I mean, I just think
She's weak in a finish, isn't she?
Yeah, I just think that if Kopek de Board or Lulamba's on the premises, they've got past her.
Who would you ride, Davy? Sorry, Ben.
No, you talk to Davy.
Yeah, Davy, who would you ride?
I'd just go back on previous Arkles. You have the likes of Kicking King, War of Attrition, Sizing John.
Correct.
Yeah.
Django Boy. Gaelic Warrior, all ended up in stairs, all either won or ran close to winning an Arkle, and for me that to me leads into Romeo Coolio. I think he's got an awful habit of winning races, and he just likes winning. I think Cheltenham will suit him. I think the strong pace from start to finish that he can slot in behind him, and in my opinion, he idled in Leopardstown the last day when he got to the front. He finds it hard to get there, but he gets there. gets there every time. He's a 3-time Grade 1 winner. Yeah. He's a very, very talented horse. I can't see it. I agree with Lydia. Probably the best horse in the race is Kopek de Board, but my only problem with that is exactly as she said herself, is the first 2 fences, bang, bang, and then the third and fourth, bang, bang. You could be turning out, and it's a downhill run, and we all know that he's quite in your hands, but he done extraordinary things over hurdles, that horse, that he can run so keen and still finish his race. But this is a hell of a good Arkle. This is as good an Arkle as we have seen in a number of years. In a number of years, like there's 5 horses that, you know, and now they're talking about Irish Panther going to the Queen Mother. He thinks it's going to be an easier route.
Yeah, but he can't win either, so it doesn't really matter.
No, he can't. And then you can see the likes of Steel Alley.
Yeah. He was a good horse.
He was a good horse who could actually, if he was ridden cold, or, you know, something like, I don't think they're going to finish first, second,
one
third,
of your
and
Charles
fourth.
Burns jobs.
No, Nicky Henderson jobs.
He stays on them though.
No, but I don't think they're going to finish first, second, third, or fourth. As Lydia said, you could see Kopek de Board falling out the back of the screen. But Steel Alley, the likes of Steel Alley at a big price. I do feel that there's some very good horses there that if they're ridden cold, that they could just pick up the pieces. I would imagine you're going to get the first 3 home here. There's going to be enough runners, isn't there?
I think so.
Yeah.
But they'd have to take the view that CLI can't win, won't they?
But he can't be ridden to win either.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
what you probably want to be on a horse, other than Alhambra and Romeo Kulu, are going to finish off strongly. If you think they're going to try and get involved, if you're trying to pick up sort of big prices, it's going to be a horse that's ridden cold, as David's saying.
It is a good race. Ben, you were shaking your head in disdain as
you were
talking there.
No, Dave's intro, basically, I thought he was going to say Lalamba, and he said Romeo Coolio. I was disappointed. But
it's Romeo Kula and Lalamba for me, are the 2 horses in the race.
So to me, Lalamba is a horse that obviously is going to be competitive in a King George in a year's time or whatever. And the only thing we've got going against this horse is the fact that he could be a bit cold. Now, I re-watched, for some unknown reason, I don't know why, but I re-watched the Game Spirit, and people made a little bit of a thing about the fact that he made mistakes. He didn't make mistakes. He was just a novice in graded company against mature horses.
He lost
on
ground
he blinking hated,
But
clearly.
you must take it, it's a bit of a trait with the Henderson horses. So you have...
but you look at...
Altior done the same. So did Shishkin.
So when I was fortunate enough to be Nicky's assistant, we had Sprinter Sacre going to an Arkle, and I told every single one of my mates, this horse will not get beat. And people made countless reasons as to why he'd get beat, and I was like, I just feel they've got the same confidence in Lalamba that they've got in, and they're not just born yesterday. They know what a good horse is, and I don't think Kopek de Board is anything but a brilliant horse. Don't get me wrong. But I just think Lalamba's got a bit more experience. If Nico can be a little bit more positive and a little bit more aggressive in the early part of the race to keep him in it, I don't see a horse coming out the hill stronger.
Well, he's definitely a finisher for sure.
Yeah, I'd be a Lalamba man. I think Nico's a very easy target. People whatever he does, they like to try and mock him after the race is on fire.
They deserve a bit of luck as well. The Donnellys have had a tough season, so that would be great.
Yeah, I think Lalamba's the one, although we did put up Romeo Kula on the At the Races preview of the season at 20-1, so there is a bit of me hoping that Romeo does turn up.
I think I can finish third with something as well.
Yeah. Right, we're going to go on to the champion hurdle.
Sorry, I'm going to go to the loo.
Somebody lock that door over there, will you? Lock the doors, running mouse. We're going to get an answer tonight. Judge Reed, turn off all the cameras, all the phones, turn them all off. We're going to get an answer tonight. Or we're going to handcuff them in the 17th floor. This is the Nakatami building, isn't it? What you call him? What was his name? What was your man's name in Die Hard?
What?
This is the Nakakami building.
I've not a clue.
Die Hard.
Yeah, Die Hard, yeah.
You're too old, Davy. No one remembers Die Hard.
No, I remember Die Hard, but I just can't
There you go.
Thanks.
John McLean.
John McLean, yeah.
John McLean.
Well done.
You're going nowhere, Richie. You are going nowhere.
People are just going to tweet something anyway and hope for a few clicks. Right, okay, let's get to the champion hurdle. The whole race revolves around one horse, and it is owned by our friend Rich Ricci. No, it doesn't. New Lion, of course, favourite. We do want Lossy Mouth in this race, though, Rich. I think as fans, just show put your hand up if you want Lossy Mouth in this race.
Sorry, Rich.
Right, well, Rich, as you know, you're a man who likes to play to the audience, so...
Says the pot over there.
Here we go. You got your man.
I don't know whether you can give us an answer now, or whether we should wait for another glass of vino before we come to this race. But would you like to see Lossy Mouth in the champion hurdle?
So let's just go back. For those of you who were here last year, I was very definitive in telling you that about the fact that she had fallen at she had beat at Kempton, she had fallen against State Man, and that I wasn't comfortable. And Paul said she'd given him no reason to get off Lossy Mouth to run her in the mare's race. The mare's a grade 1, and we can debate whether we want a championship mare's race or not. I think we should have one. Anyway, this year I am much more ambivalent. I honestly. Last year I had a prior, and I came in, or a bias, as you would say over here, and I wanted her to run in the mare's race. I really don't care. It's a wide open champion hurdle. My concern is I'm not sure 2 miles is her best trip. You know, she's undefeated over 2.5. She is 3 for 6 since her Triumph Hurdle days or Juvenile days over 2 miles. I have to balance that with the fact that she's only ever run over 2 miles on the new course at Cheltenham, which is a much bigger test. And, you know, the new course might suit Woodoo. I mean, I don't know, but what you need to understand is everything that comes into the mix. So Paul Townend will have a view. He'll want to win where the mare can win. Willie Mullins will make the final decision with input from me about how she's working. I don't see that every day. Last year, it was me that made the decision, but I'm ambivalent. I really, honestly, I know that people think she's going to run in the mares. I really don't have a view. I would tell you, she worked very well last week. If anybody saw Woody's comments in the Sporting Life this week, he talked about the fact that he'd want to see that again, but working very easy. We're thinking about possibly doing something different with her as well, if she's going to stay over the shorter trip. So I really don't know.
What does that mean?
You maybe headgear or something like that. Who knows?
Whoa.
But who knows? I'm not saying we're going to do it, but we're thinking about things.
Just exploded next to
No, I can see that. I mean, if you're going to go for the champion hurdle, I would put a headgear on her,
but
absolutely.
we're thinking about something. So I would also tell you that I thought she looked very light, as did Ruby, at the Dublin Racing Festival. If you go back and watch that race, she hung all the way up the straight. Look at her head.
She did.
Something was bothering her. So she clearly she's had back problems her whole career, and something was clearly bothering her at bay. But one thing I like about her is even though she was hanging, she ran through the line.
Oh, she definitely is. She turns up all the time.
She
in
tries.
Her head,
she turns up.
Yeah.
But the other thing I'd tell you is at Kempton last year and at the DRF, Paul said the same thing afterwards to me after I got the horse. Knew after the first hurdle I was beat. So we've tried to take care of her back. She worked very well last week. Let's see.
Did she work this morning?
I don't. Yeah, she would have worked this morning, but I think her big work probably Thursday. But I don't know how it went today. But I do know how Laura's work went. That went very well. But I think look, she's a wonderful, wonderful mare. It's a wide open champion hurdle. I get that. Her trip's 2.5. Aintree's tailor-made for her.
Can I just challenge you on the trip? You'll remember that Annie Power would never have won a champion hurdle if Faheen hadn't got an injury. She only ran in the champion hurdle because Faheen was injured.
I disagree. She would have won the champion hurdle if Willie hadn't run her in the world hurdle the year that Rock on Ruby won.
I mean, you're slightly playing with words, but yes. Okay. But outside of one run at Doncaster when she was 1-6 and effectively couldn't lose, as an older horse outside of Novice Company, how many times did Annie Power run over 2 miles if you're worried about the trip for Lossy Mouth? The answer, of course, is 0.
Yeah, but
she ran over 3 miles Annie Power.
I know.
So I think it's so similar. The two
No,
horses are so
I
similar.
think-
But isn't it more that they've tried 2 miles and they found something and they think that she's at full revs over 2 miles? I mean, David was just talking about the difference between the old and the new course. I mean, it's an ever turning course. It's relatively pretty
But
sharp
not at
compared to the
Cheltenham, where
new.
she, to everyone's mind, is a £10 better horse at
she
Cheltenham.
comes alive. And by the way, Woodhoo is a very good horse
Yes, she
over
is.
that trip.
But she's not going to beat Lossie.
She might.
I don't know. I think she might.
No.
I wouldn't say she's a dead cert for the mares, but anyway, look, I'm sorry I can't give you the definitive answer tonight.
Who mentioned cheek pieces?
It wasn't just cheek pieces, it might be other headgear, but we were talking about, no, it's just generally talking about headgear. I don't want to talk about,
Did Cliff Sutton mention it? Or did,
it's not me,
right.
so,
Right, okay.
Right.
yeah.
Final question, Rich. If you had a choice of winning one or the other, which one would you prefer to win? You said you don't care, but you must care. One's
No, I
the
don't care
champion
where she
hurdle.
runs, I said, that's different. If I was to win one of those races, of course I want to win a champion hurdle.
Okay. Anyone got a strong opinion in who might win the champion hurdle, which is effectively a wide open heat for most people, although you could argue the New Lion is easily the form horse in my book, but
Well, I think the best horse of the race and what we know about, bearing in mind the mare's allowance, is Brighter Days Ahead.
No,
not at Cheltenham though.
no.
don't
Best
think she is?
best horse in the race is Golden Ace,
Thank you. We're talking the same language.
and I'd say she's a bet to know. What price is Golden Ace?
She's an each way
About
bet. She
7,
is an
8 to
each way
1.
bet.
How's she not?
Yeah. She is probably the best. I would say she is the best horse in the race. She's proven it over and over and over, and she's got good form. She's beaten Brighter Days Ahead. She's won a champion hurdle. Take out the 2-runner race where she was completely flop. Her form is not bad. She's a good filly. There's question marks over everything else. I'm getting closer to the fact that
She's rated 152. Like, she's not.
Yeah, but
But this is not a good champion hurdle.
What are the rest of them?
No, I know, but I'm just saying when we're saying she's a good filly, she for a champion hurdle winner, she is not a good filly. For all that we love her and we all love Jeremy Scott, we all love the story. It's nothing against her.
So
but
she's-
I'm
if
not
she
mad
won
about
2
Jeremy
champion
Scott
hurdles,
now, just to let you know.
Yeah.
What?
I'm not mad about Jeremy Scott. It's nothing to do with Jeremy Scott or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah, remember he Dasher and all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not. This is not a Jeremy Scott thing. I just think she is the best mare in the race.
So I saw the owner after they won last year.
Ian Gosden.
And he thanked me because he said, I was going to run where you weren't.
Yeah.
And he took the risk and he won. It was brilliant.
Yeah, he'd want to be declaring fairly late to find out where you're not going to run because there's about 30 seconds to go. Willie Mullins is here sitting on the yoke. Just bring him out now till the very last second and yes, done it.
You can go round in circles with this champion hurdle. It is tricky. Rich, you obviously think you'll win it with Lossiemouth. Commander.
Wide open, Brighter Days Ahead if we don't
Don't
run.
be silly. Come on.
I think it's really difficult because they've all got flaws. Every
Agreed.
single one
It's
of them.
not the best champion hurdle of all time, that's
I
for
think
sure.
if you're wanting a horse that will deliver and hit the frame, it is Golden Ace. But there are more innately talented horses in the field. The other 3 are probably more talented than her. I'm not sure the New Lion definitely is, but the other 2 mares are, I think. I think I'd be with Brighter Days Ahead, but I'd switch camps if Lossiemouth turns up with headgear, because I do think she needs something to help her to travel at 2 miles on the old course.
Do you think Rich should run her?
Of course, because I love sport.
Yeah. Enough said. Ben?
I'd probably back Lossiemouth with cheek pieces, not blinkers.
Yes, I agree.
And apart from that, I'd go with Golden Ace because I think she's £10 better here than she is anywhere else in the country. And she had the New Lion beat when he fell at Newcastle.
Okay.
She might have done, it's certainly arguable.
Would you like Lossiemouth in an advisor?
I'm glad to Rich because I do. It's funny. You can insult a man's wife, but you cannot insult his horse. So, but I'm delighted that Richie said that Rich said that they weren't happy by the way she looked in Leopardstown. And to be honest, I was so disappointed with her in Leopardstown by the way she looked. She just looked a shell. She wasn't herself at all. And I would be of the opinion she needs to be back to her old self to win any race in Cheltenham, not to mind a mare's race.
I agree with that.
So that's my worry with Lossiemouth. I adore the filly. She's obviously, very talented, but her demeanour and her physique at Leopardstown was worrying for me. So she has to come back from that, and I would love to see her before I'd ever contemplate putting her into the equation. And other than that, I just think that Golden Ace is the bet for anybody. She's a working man's price. She's going to give you a run for your money, and I would imagine worst case scenario she'll finish in the frame.
Why by omission, Davy, are you against Brighter Days Ahead?
I'm not against her. It's very interesting. It's very interesting that Gordon changed tact with her. It was a little bit by mistake, but he realised that maybe he could be after missing something with her. She does need to get there fresh and well, and I'm not against her, but it's again, once bitten, twice shy, but she's been there twice. Golden Ace gave her a good trim in the first year, and everybody said, but I just think Golden Ace is better than her, maybe, maybe she's just better than her. Brighter Days Ahead was really impressive, but I'm getting back to the fact that I don't think we saw the best Lossiemouth in Leopardstown.
No.
And that's why I'm moving away from them, if you know what I mean. I do like the new line. I do like him as his profile, but you can question his form last year. The 2 horses that he beat in the novice hurdle have stepped up dramatically in trip to no real success. And I think Golden Ace had him beaten in Newcastle.
No.
He did.
And
He was a length up when he fell. And he does his best work
The
in the
reason
final
he fell
third.
is because he was going too fast.
What do you think of his jumping?
his jumping is questionable. I don't know. I can't understand why trainers over here and trainers in Ireland, why you jump them hurdles. I think they're an absolute disgrace.
What, the white ones?
The white ones, that was a joke anyway to start with. But these rubber hurdles they're terrible yokes. At least in Ireland we have the intermediate one, the plastic one
With a bit of brush on it.
Yeah, with a bit of brush on it. But these rubber
Are they
yokes,
a bit weighty at the Irish ones?
No, they just back them off slightly.
Right.
just to back him off,
Right.
they need to respect. Like a horse has to respect. He has to respect what he's jumping, or else he's just going to take chances.
The
Like
BHA, to be fair.
the BHA
no, but they
are
would-
a bunch of donkeys.
There is actually no one there at the moment, but if there was someone there, they would.
You tell me that a white stripe across the front of the hurdle and a white stripe on the bottom and they spent millions on researching that they got Ed the talking horse to tell him, I can see the white better than I can see the orange. Please, no.
I mean, I'm not usually. No. I'm not usually the voice of reason, but I think their statistics do show that
Of
there have
course
been
they
less
do.
fallers.
But Matt, we've had enough.
So you saying they've been manipulated?
We've had
Lydia,
enough
isn't
of
it?
experts, haven't we?
But you're on most of the committees at the BHA. Are they manipulated figures?
No, of course not. No, I mean,
You didn't sound very convincing.
No, I just thought, bearing in mind that you said that you
Really
were going to
answering
get
the question, Lydia.
through all 4 days in
Are
the
they
first
manipulated?
hour.
Yeah.
No, they're not,
45 minutes
and
gone, mate.
obviously there's been scientific research put into it, and so you can
Okay.
either have science or opinion. You take your choice.